like me, like a mirror I could trust. Now it feels like someone else's face, waiting on the other side. The calendar keeps turning pages, like it knows something I don't. Every day arrives on time, but leaves me slightly lost. I'm not saying it's gone, I'm saying it feels distant, like a voice through a wall. I don't recognize tomorrow anymore. It still calls my name, but I'm not sure what for. I don't recognize tomorrow anymore. I'll step into it anyway, like I always do. I pack my days with little plans to keep my footing clear. Morning routines, familiar songs, things that keep me here. The future doesn't scare me now, it just won't answer back. I speak to it in questions, and it responds with facts. I don't recognize tomorrow anymore, but it keeps coming close, whether I'm ready or not. I don't recognize tomorrow anymore, so I'll meet it without pretending I know what it wants. If this is where the line dissolves between who I was and who I'll be, I won't demand an explanation. I'll let it happen, quiet in. Yeah. We waited for the world to speak, as if it owed us clarity. Every pause felt like a loss, like something broken, something off. We filled the gaps with borrowed noise, mistook the stillness for a void. But maybe it was never bare, we just forgot how to stay there. We mistook silence for nothing, for empty space, for lack of care. But maybe it was holding things we weren't prepared enough to hear. We mistook silence for nothing, so we kept turning up the sound. Never noticed it was asking for us to slow our answers down. Not every truth arrives in words, not every meaning wants to hurt. We mistook silence for nothing. Now I'm learning how to stay, quiet finished sentences. I was rushing anyway. But honesty, I asked the hours where they've been. They kept their hands inside their skin. Every second passed me by like I wasn't worth a sign. I stacked my questions in a row. They never learned which way to go. The floor kept moving under me, but nothing said what I should be. Time doesn't answer back. It never says I'm right or wrong. It keeps on moving through the cracks like I was never part of the song. Time doesn't answer back. No echo when I call. It just keeps doing what it does like it never heard me at all. Time doesn't answer back. No echo when I call. It just keeps doing what it does like it never heard me at all. I thought it owed me something true, but maybe that was never due. Time doesn't answer back. It doesn't hold my hand. It lets me stand inside the weight and figure out who I am. Time doesn't answer back. It doesn't hold my hand. It lets me stand inside the weight and figure out who I am. If there's a meaning hidden here, it isn't written clear. It's not a voice, it's not a sign. It's just the sound of passing time. Time doesn't answer back. Time doesn't answer back. I push for reasons I can't name. Looked at but nothing was the same. The pace had changed, the wind felt new. Like I stepped out and stepped through. The world kept moving without me. I'm saying there's something left behind. It didn't rush, it didn't wait. It just continued in its time. The world kept moving without watched it pass, calm and slow. Not angry, more accusing me. Just sliding low is never known. I didn't fall, I didn't feel. I just used to be on the scale. If progress people love to chase from point to point, from face to face, the world can't move down without me. And somehow I'm still here, breathing you I can hold, letting go of words unclear. Baby, motion isn't proof of knowing what to do. Maybe staying is its own quiet kind of truth. The world kept moving without me, and I don't need to catch it now. I'll step back in when it feels right. No one told to know how. I tried explaining every part, tracing lines back to the start. But every time I said too much, I felt myself begin to shrink. So I left some things unsaid. Let the silence speak instead. Not to punish, not to hide, just to keep my side alive. I stopped asking to be understood, stop shaping words to fit the room. It's not defeat, it's not retreat, it's giving my own thoughts more room. I stopped asking to be understood, and something in me finally stayed. No longer bending every truth just to hear someone say my name. Hey, na-na, 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 if they meet me where I stand, there's something I'll accept. If not, I'll still be here with everything I kept. I stopped asking to be understood and learned how to stand alone, not lonely, just complete enough to feel like I'm my own. The room remember what I never said. Words still leaning on the edge of my breath. I cleaned the table, left the window wide, but something stayed. I couldn't say goodbye. I don't replay it like a broken scene. It's softer than regret, harder than a dream. What still remains unsaid isn't loud, isn't red. It doesn't chase me down the street. It just sits where I used to be. What still remains unsaid doesn't ask to be fixed. It waits inside the quiet parts like it's learned how to exist. I folded time like unused clothes. Some fit too well, some never close. I didn't lose it, didn't keep it near. It learned my name and disappear. What still remains unsaid isn't sharp, isn't dead. It breathes between the little gaps in everything I never meant. What still remains unsaid doesn't need a reply yet. It's only proof that once in time I tried to mean it when I tried. If silence had a shape, it wouldn't point or blame. It would rest against the wall like it's tired of being named. What still remains unsaid isn't asking for more. It just stays when I turn the key and walk away from who I was before. We scroll past things we used to fear. With practiced hands, relaxed eyes. Every warning softened out until it fits our daily lives. We talk about the weather first, like it's safer than the truth. Somewhere along the way, silence became something we could use. We learned how to look away, not because we didn't care, but because caring every second was more than we could bear. We learned how to look away, still awake, still aware, just choosing where to place our eyes and how long we leave them there. It's not denial, not a lie. It's a skill we didn't choose, a way to keep our mornings light and our nights from breaking through. We say that's just how things are, like a phrase that keeps us safe. If we stare too long at everything, something inside us starts to shake. We learned how to look away with our coffee, with our phones, turning noise into background sound so we don't feel alone. Maybe one day we'll look back and ask how we stayed so calm. But for now we breathe and move along, doing what we can. We learned how to look away and still keep moving on. Not proud, not ashamed, just survive until the morning comes. I don't have answers in my pocket, no clean conclusions to hold, just a breath that keeps repeating, and a body getting older. The world keeps asking for reactions, opinions sharp and clear. I set them down beside me and listen to my pulse instead. Still I'm here, not certain, not brave, just present in this moment that refuses to fade. Still I'm here, no promise, no claim, just staying where my feet are, calling that enough for today. I don't chase the shape of hope, I don't frame it like before. If it shows up quietly, I'll leave the door unlocked. I've seen how meaning shifts when you try to force its name. So I let things be unfinished and somehow feel okay. Still I'm here, through the noise and the calm, through the things I understand and the things I can't. Still I'm here when the future feels thin, when the past won't explain itself, I stay within. Still I'm here, and that's all I know. For now, for this second, that's enough to go on. I called your name inside old rooms where voices used to stay. The walls remember how we spoke, but nothing speaks today. Photographs don't look away, they just hold their breath. Every meaning we once trusted learned the shape of left. I'm not angry at the silence, I just stopped asking why. Some doors close without a sound and never say goodbye. I stand where questions used to live, hands empty, still warm somehow. The past is close but out of reach, it doesn't answer now. I don't chase what won't return, I let it be what it became. Not broken, not forgiven, just a different name. I trace the edges of old thoughts until the lines grew thin. Every truth I thought I owned let something else walk in. The nights don't feel unfinished, they simply don't explain. Like a sentence left midair that never needed pain. If memory is only light, then shadows had their say. I leave the echo where it stands and slowly walk away. I stand where questions used to live, breathing, word without a vowel. The past is close but out of reach, it doesn't answer now. Sound with something bright, with something proud, but it never raised its head. It just stayed close when I felt bent. No fireworks, no open door, no moment screaming this is more. It showed up small, it showed up late, it didn't try to change my fate. Hope was never loud, it never shook the ground. It didn't ask me to believe, it just stayed when I stayed around. Hope was never loud, no crown, no final word. It lived inside the quiet choice to keep moving forward unheard. I almost missed it standing still, I almost left without the will. Hope was never loud, it didn't clear the sky, it just made breathing feel okay on nights I didn't know why. If it leaves a trace, not a mark but just enough space to sit with questions unresolved and still not feel completely lost. Hope was never loud, but it never had to be. It stayed beside my fragile days and let me stay with me. The room feels lighter than yesterday, like someone opened the door I can't see. Nothing is broken, nothing's loud, still my hands don't rest the way they used to. The clock is moving like it always did, but the air won't stay in the same shape. I try to name what changed tonight, but words keep slipping through my mouth. No sirens, no signs in the sky, just a quiet shift inside my chest. I don't panic, I don't run, I just notice something is ending, I can feel it. Not a crash, not a scene, just the ground losing its memory. Maybe something is ending, I talk like nothing's wrong, and maybe that's almost true. I replay days that meant nothing and trying to hear what they say now. Every sound feels slightly late, like it arrived after the moment passed. Something is ending, I can feel it in the space between my thoughts, where the future used to stretch forever. Something is ending, I can feel it. I'm not afraid to look, I'm just learning how to stand still. If this is the end of how it was, I won't pretend I didn't know. I felt it long before tonight, in the way silence started to grow. Something is ending, I can feel it. I won't chase it, I won't hide, I'll let it leave without a fight. Something is ending, I can feel it, and even now I'm still here. We talk like this is going somewhere, words moving fast but going thin. Your voice meets mine halfway, then falls before it settles in. I hear myself replying back with phrases I was taught to use. Nothing wrong, nothing breaks, but nothing really makes it through. These conversations never end, they circle close then drift away, like we're both speaking carefully, so nothing real has room to stay. These conversations never end, no silence sharp enough to hurt, just sound that fades before it knows what either one of us meant first. We're standing close, but something's off, like we forgot what we came for. These conversations never end, I don't blame you, don't blame me. We're just exchanging polished words instead of honesty. If I stop filling every gap, would something real arrive at last? Or would we both just stand and see how quiet understanding can be? Everyone speaks like they already know which way is right, which way to go. Their words line up neat and clean, like they've seen what I haven't seen. I'm not alone, I learned the lines, but none of it feels like it's mine. Everyone sounds certain talk in plans, they talk in terms of outcomes clear of solid turns. I hold my questions in my hands like fragile things they wouldn't understand. Everyone sounds certain but me, I'm not pretending, I'm not late, I just don't wanna call it truth before I learn what I can't fake. Maybe certainty is borrowed air, passed around like common sense. I breathe slower, stand apart, listening to my own defense. Everyone sounds certain but me, and maybe that's okay to be. I'd rather stand with open hands than close my eyes for clarity. What if the question stays unfinished? What if it always does? What if the meaning isn't missing? It's just not ours. I used to line my doubts in rows and call that being wise. Now I let them sit like chairs no one occupies. I'm living without needing an answer, breathing without a plan. Some things don't ask to be solved, just held by a human hand. I don't need the ending clear, I don't need the frame, I only need the moment to not pretend. The night doesn't argue with me, it doesn't try to win. It lets the hours pass their weight and call that living. No spotlight on the silence, no reason carved in stone, just the sound of being here and not alone. If truth is only pressure, then I let it go. I keep what doesn't hurt to know. I'm living without needing an answer, and somehow that's okay. The world doesn't feel complete, but it stays. I'm living without needing an answer. questions like a test, like something waiting to be passed. But some of them don't need release, they only need to walk with me. Not everything needs an answer, not every road explains its name. Some things stay open by design and still don't feel like wasted space. Not everything needs an answer, I don't need closure to move on. I can live with what I don't know and still feel like I belong. I used to chase a finished thought, like that's where meaning always was. Now I let the edges stay, they don't scare me like they once did. If understanding comes too fast, it really seems to last. I'd rather keep the question closed than trade it for something false. Not everything needs an answer, some things just need to stay. I'll carry them into tomorrow without demanding they explain. No promises tonight, like it knew my face. Now it sits beside the road and keeps its pace. No headlines in its voice, no maps inside its hands. It doesn't point, it doesn't pull, it only stands. The future learned to stay quiet, no bright signs, no demand. It doesn't need me to believe, it only asks, I understand. It walks with me, not ahead, no reason, no excuse. A shape without a reason why, a truth without a use. I stopped waiting for a signal, stopped reading every sound. Some days just move like water does without being found. The calm isn't resolution, it's not peace, it's not defeat. It's knowing nothing has to bloom for roots to meet. Silence isn't empty, it just doesn't sell a dream. And somehow that's enough to keep it real. The future learned to stay quiet, and I learned her not to chase. What does it need to call my name to share my space? To share my space. to before next. I'm only here, then I'm not context. No grand design, no finish line, just lungs that move, just passing time. I'm living between breaths, not holding on, not letting go. I'm living between breaths, where nothing needs to overflow. I'm living between breaths, no promises to keep. Just this small space I didn't plan, but somehow get to keep. I try to name what this could be, but names just slow the feeling free. It isn't hope, it isn't fear, it's just the proof that I am here. I'm living between breaths, no future pulling on my sleeve. I'm living between breaths, nothing I need to prove or leave. If this moment fades too fast, that doesn't mean it didn't last. It lived inside me when it came, and that alone is not in vain. I'm living between breaths, no answers dressed in gold, just quiet seconds passing by, and that is enough to hold. We used to look above the streets like answers lived up there. Every hope a borrowed wing, every wish a prayer. But gravity kept tapping us on shoulders, soft but sure, saying stay with what you hold. There's something real and pure. We stopped waiting for the sky, stopped asking it to choose. We built our days from what was left, not from what we lose. No thunder came to save us, no light broke through the gray, but something steady took its place and quietly stayed. Hands learned the weight of ordinary steps, learned how to land. Nothing holy in the moment, just something we could stand. The ground didn't need permission, it didn't need a name, it just held us while we learned how not to pray. If miracles are moments that don't ask to be seen, then this was one of them between. We stopped waiting for the sky, stopped asking it to choose. We built our days from what was left, not from what we lose. We stopped waiting for the sky, and nothing fell apart. The world stayed small I used to draw the years ahead like open roads without an edge. Now they fit inside my hands, need careful measured plans. It's not that dreams have disappeared, they just don't shout the way they did. They speak in lower, steadier tones like they've learned my limits. The future feels smaller than before, not empty, just close enough to touch. I don't need it to be endless, I just need it to be enough. I stopped asking who I'll be and started asking how I'll live. Somewhere between staying safe and letting something hurt again. I watch the years line up in rows, not as promises, not as threats, just quiet rooms I haven't entered and don't feel rushed to yet. I'm not losing hope, I'm losing illusions. There's a difference I can finally say. The future feels smaller than before, but somehow clearer in my sight. I don't need a perfect shape, I just need a place to stand tonight. If this is growing up, I won't fight the size of it. I'll learn how to breathe inside it. Nothing asked me to remain, no voice, no open door. I just felt the ground beneath and didn't move anymore. The room was neither warm nor cold, just honest in its light, like it didn't care if I was strong or right. I don't need a reason, I don't need a sign. I'm not waiting for tomorrow to decide. This isn't hope, this isn't fear, it's quieter that way. I'm here and somehow this is enough to stay. The world can keep its questions, the future it's delayed. I learned how to sit inside a day and let it play. No triumph in the stillness, no loss I need to prove. If this is all the light we get, it's enough to stay.